Hello, I'm back. So yesterday we talked about all the gifts and the graces that God gives us to make it to eternal life with Him. Last things we've been studying are the conscience. And it seemed to me in what you wrote, almost all of you got it, that the conscience is not a good devil and a bad devil on your shoulder. Our conscience is at work in all the stages of moral development, whether or not you think of it in Christian terms or not. Our conscience is an interior voice, a God-given sense of the moral law. Remember, the moral law, which springs from natural law, which is written on our heart. But you can't just say, well, I didn't think this is wrong, or I don't think this is wrong. You don't get to make the decisions. Remember Adam and Eve, who appropriated. They took to themselves, without authority or right, to decide what is right or wrong. Okay, so we're all going to mess up. We're all going to make mistakes every day if you're like me. So what do we do about that? Well, the New Testament, Jesus, who we follow, has the gospel call to forgiveness. Remember, the Old Testament was all about punishment and destruction. The New Testament in Jesus is about forgiveness. So 2 things. You need to remember this for the rest of your life. You need to frequently seek forgiveness from your family and friends, but moreover from God. Remember Luke 15:11, the prodigal son. This guy was the worst person you could imagine, and when the father saw him far off, he ran. And that's how God is for us. If we seek forgiveness from God, especially in the sacrament of reconciliation, God runs to us. He doesn't even make us come to beg. But more importantly, the harder part sometimes is that we need to give forgiveness. Remember, we talked about this. Jesus said, the stick you use to measure others is the stick I'm going to have to use to measure you. He says, don't judge, and I won't judge. And Jesus says, as you forgive, so will I forgive you. So that's pretty much our year in a nutshell. On page 254 is a section review. There are 10 questions. You need to choose 3 to respond to in a paragraph. 3 out of 10. For those of you who are looking for some extra credit, I will take up to 6 answers. So you could get double points if you want to. But you need to show some effort if you're going to do that. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow, our last school day. God bless.